Tattoo culture, beyond skin deep, a study of nonverbal means of expression. The tattoo culture is a unique embodiment of a nonverbal means of expression. The group is bound not only by behaviors and beliefs, but also by an intentional choice of aesthetic representation. Through contextual research methods, our study will seek ways to improve upon the understanding of tattoo culture from both inside and outside the community.
Okay, so when you see another person, do you form an initial perception? Do you consciously make decisions to be perceived as part of a particular group or culture? A person with tattoos embodies an extensive history, not only in the stories of their own tattoos, but in the history of a culture that has deep connections to major groups of people and events throughout Western history. The contemporary state of tattoos is now recognized as a sophisticated art form that is part of mainstream society. Tattoos are representational of an extensive set of memories, psychologies, and meanings that look towards self-expression, identity, spirituality, and social branding. Tattoos have trend-setting implications and driving forces that can be seen throughout history.
Understanding the psychological rationale behind self-expression and identity through personal style lends itself as an opportunity to market positive perception of tattoos, social impacts of nonverbal self-expression, and an understanding of the relationship of tattoos to history, psychology, geography, demographics, workplace ethics, and overall acceptance as an art form. Phase 1, Research Planning. Research questions. Does the geographical layout of Savannah influence the types of tattoo demographics within each respective area? Are there patterns between perceptions about tattoo culture and meaning within the community versus outside the community per respective geographic area? How does the psychology of tattoos relate to social branding, personal identity, and self-expression? How have historical trends in tattooing manifested themselves with the city of Savannah? How do gatekeepers within a variety of business types either inhibit or promote the tattoo culture within the workplace? For designers and distributors of goods or services marketed towards personal expression who are looking for a deeper and more revealing understanding behind why potential consumers choose particular means of nonverbal expression over others, our study provides critical examples of cultural expression through visual cues and adaptable methods for studying the psychology behind cultural delineation via personal style. We do this by interviewing and observing both members of society within the tattoo community and those outside of it in order to more deeply understand the culture in relation to overall context and purpose. This will reveal both the internal and external psychology behind nonverbal expression. Unlike a superficial study of existing perceptions about tattoo culture and style in general, our study will dive deeper into the community to gain stronger meanings behind decisions of permanent artistic self-expression, rather than focusing only on the visual result as an art form alone. This will allow our research to be applicable to any form of nonverbal self-expression industry. Phase 2, Research and Fieldwork. Through extensive interviews, data collection, analysis, and synthesis, our study of the tattoo culture has uncovered a variety of psychological and artistic trends that prevail in the community today. Through observation, participation, and cultural probes of tattoo shop owners, tattoo community members, non-community members, and business owners, we have discovered that the vast types of underlying messages of tattoos stretch beyond their value as an art form alone. Our research began through one-on-one interviews with tattoo artists and shop owners. After developing a list of questions, we were able to conduct casual yet deeply personal interviews with various artists at shops around Savannah. Through predictive assumptions of how these interviews might play out, we used our list of questions as guidelines to draw up personal thoughts and in-depth facts about the community from the business perspective of insiders. Our second research methodology was a combination of both casual interviews, group interviews, in conjunction with our design cultural probe. While standing on Broughton Street, around Forsyth Park, and in SCAD facilities, we allowed community participants to interact with life-size tattoo pinup boards at their own free will. Through engagement with our boards, we were able to connect with Savannah city dwellers and SCAD students to gather quantitative and qualitative data regarding tattoo popularity, where on the body people have the most tattoos, and how the general public feels about tattoos as a form of nonverbal self-expression. The information we gathered regarding the perception of tattoos in the workplace was obtained through our interviews with community members and tattoo artists. We found that, although the tattoo popularity is still a growing trend in 2015, the majority of people today do not see tattoos as having a recognizable correlation to work ethic, skill level, or professionalism based on industry. Through secondary research, we found that while tattoos are prevalent in most business types, certain industries have a much heavier prevalence of tattooed employees than others. Our user persona model provides insight into generalizations about the expected types of members we intended to focus our study on. Each member comes from a different background with different cultural, social, and political values and agendas. With the tattoo culture at its heart, the main arteries of our map branch outward towards the first-tier categories that we found to be the most prominent influences on the perception of our culture. From there, each first-tier category breaks into major and minor elements that detail the understanding of their overarching themes.
Phase 3, Analysis.
A curved stairwell sweeps up from the entrance door on Bay Street and into a loft space that used to be an apartment. High ceilings, transoms, and tall exterior windows let in lots of natural light to the shop's open floor plan. Flash tattoos drawn by the tattoo artist are framed on the walls, and each tattooist's personal artwork is displayed in their designated area. The artists talk to one another and their clients from across the shop, and rock music plays a soundtrack that fits the overall vibe of the parlor. The front desk waiting area and art gallery at the Butcher is visible from the sidewalk on Bay Street. The front desk displays cards and flyers for other businesses and people that are affiliated with the shop. A short hardwood floor hallway leads to 2 tattooing rooms that are shared by the 4 artists, as well as the office, which houses working desks and light tables. Located at the heart of City Market, Ghost Town Tattoo has loud signage on the street and is very noticeable from major intersections. The shop is small and shows lots of flash tattoos on the walls with an extensive library of books about tattoo history and style typologies. The artists work in close quarters and seem constantly busy as a handful of people came in and out of the shop while the phone rang constantly with people booking appointments. Savannah Inc. is located just off Broughton Street, close to Martin Luther King Boulevard. The shop feels very homey and has lots of Buddhist sculptures and watercolor paintings in the waiting area. There is no front desk, but the shop's floor plan caters well to this. The central artery is flanked by 3 rooms for each tattooist to practice in. Each artist has their own personal artwork displayed on the walls at their stations. Stranded Tattoo Studio has a level of opulence to it. Romantic, Baroque sofas are immediately visible when you enter the shop, as are the only 2 tattoo beds at the opposite end from the waiting area. Trinkets and artifacts from Star Wars, Pez, and World Travels are spread across the shop in glass cases, and personal artwork is framed on the walls. The shop has an expensive quality to it, but the energy is very friendly and welcoming. Gulfstream is an industrial building that is constantly filled with movement, voices, and the sound of machines buzzing. Students are running in and out while rushing up and down the main hallway of the building. There are student projects sprinkled throughout the hallways, ranging from lighting designs, car designs, scooter mock-ups, and furniture. The ambiance on Broughton Street and at Forsyth Park is upbeat and moderately paced. People are on their lunch breaks, touring with a beer in their hand, shopping, or exercising. Everyone seems to be enjoying the weather, casual conversation, and relaxing, regardless of the activity that they are doing.
The affinity map shows the extensive data we collected and how we organize the information into groups based on their relationships and common themes. After 2 iterations, we were able to find deep connections between the categories that we were not previously aware of. And further, the relationships derived from the affinity map played a key role in the development of our ecosystem map, which shows the relationships between nonverbal self-expression, the subgroups of the tattooed community, its relationship to the non-tattooed and business communities, as well as internal and external factors that drive perceptions of the context of study as a whole. As we analyzed our models, we began to look at more external influences and their relationships with various groupings on our working wall. We found commonalities between certain user groups within the tattooed community, shared values between different shops, and a variety of sentiments about what people thought about tattoos, the media's influence on their perception, and how trends are changing and why. The opportunity map is a culmination of our insights and how we can apply them to create real solutions, physical objects, and standard practices for improvement of the tattoo community and the perception people hold about it. Social media and television often misrepresent the tattoo process, providing unrealistic expectations of possibilities and capabilities of tattoo artists. Legality should be set in place to maintain a level of honesty in the way that tattoos and their processes are portrayed through the media. This can also be applied to potential issues with copyright infringement. Our second opportunity lies in the promotion of tattoo practices in a healthy, sterile environment. We propose having a rating system that complies with health code standards. Each shop will have their grade visibly displayed on the exterior of the shop. A large portion of our project looked deeper into self-expression in the workplace. We suggest the creation of a project card that provides links to a website. This website will house videos, blogs, infographics, and data to explain the diversity within the tattoo community and help negate perceptions that tattooed people have a lower level of professionalism, work ethic, or drive to succeed.
History and pop culture have played a crucial role in the development of tattoo trends today. Not only is the history itself colorful, but it can advertise tattoos in a different light compared to other formal means of information sharing. We would like to create a branding kit that includes the previously mentioned project card, a book on the history of tattoos, its influence on the craft today, and forecasting of where tattooing is headed. This can be sold in clothing stores, coffee shops, and other stores that are frequented by both the tattooed and non-tattooed communities. Not many people realize the amount of work and apprenticeship hours that must be completed and approved before becoming a full-time tattooist. To educate the public on the professional process of how to become a tattoo artist, we would like to create a career map that will be placed in the branding kit and on the website in order to reduce the misperception that tattooing is an easier career path. There is a high level of importance that should be maintained within the client-artist relationship. We would like to maintain this importance through a protocol system during which client and artist must schedule a pre-tattoo consultation in order to promote transparency and understanding of the intentions and expectations of client and artist alike.
With regard to applications to future projects, it is important for designers to understand their target market and understand how their consumers express themselves. This will allow them to create products, build ideas, and promote social change through understanding the history, values, and beliefs of the community in which they are working. These are a few of our design scenarios that relate directly to design management. I feel that my greatest key takeaway from this project is learning the importance of user behavior before trying to alter it through design. Although design has the power to change lives and behaviors, it can only do so successfully and beneficially if the designer understands the user through research prior to design implementation.
Understanding the shared values that lie within the larger community of study are uncovered by understanding the commonalities and differences between the sub-audiences of the group. The best way to gain deep understandings of the market you're aiming towards is to engage with them, be open with them, and learn from them. This comes through researching in ways that ignite curiosity about your motives, allow people to trust you, and maintain transparency and openness with you.